Okay. All right, we are live. Awesome. All right, Mary Starr Carter, the Total Wellness Doc and Mom, for your weekly wellness tip. And today we're going to talk about stairs versus steps versus stairs. Steps versus stairs. What do I mean about that? Well, I have recently discovered me in my own health something that I think can benefit a lot of you too. So, how many of you out there right now are trying to lose weight? Maybe you're trying to be healthier. Maybe you're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, maybe even your 70s, and you don't want to live the last decades of your life being, you know, unable to live a healthy and happy life. You want to live these next decades healthy and happy. Anybody out there? Well, I just turned 46 years old and I have a choice right now. I have a choice to take care of my health better, to lose weight, to make an effort probably on a daily basis to live my best life, right? Like many of you do every day. I think when we're younger, possibly, we maybe don't think about that as much until we have a health challenge. So let's talk about this subject I want to talk about today, steps versus stairs. And steps versus stairs. Okay, so we have kind of, I think maybe the past decade, have heard a lot about getting your steps in, right? Getting your steps in, 10,000 steps. And about 2 years ago, I started tracking my steps. And some friends of mine, we would have little step contests to see who would get the most steps in every day. And I realized, wow, I'm sitting around a lot. I thought I was much more active. Even on days where I would go out for a walk or things like that, that I was very sedentary. I wasn't getting the recommended 10,000 steps a day in. And that some days it was like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 steps. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that. And my body was seeing those results too. I had very weak core muscles. I was getting a lot of back issues. And it wasn't good. I was seeing my chiropractor a lot, right? I was having to go find different things like yoga and different things to get my body healthy. I invested in some training, Pilates that we can talk about, not mat Pilates, but actual reformer Pilates with a one-on-one instructor to help me get my core strong again because I had been so sedentary. Okay, so it's really, really important. So I'm not saying steps aren't important. I think steps are very important. But I think what happens is our minds get thinking, well, I just need to get my steps in. And we might have lives, we're running, chasing kids, we might just, we're working and we're active or getting up a lot, but we're not actually exercising our heart, right? We're not actually getting that cardiovascular health in. So that's what I mean for steps, because if any of you walked upstairs, right, a few flight of stairs, you're like, whew, this is some exercise. Or when we could go to gyms and you got on the walking machine, the treadmill versus the stepper, right? The stepper was way more, whew, my heart's racing, I'm getting more cardiovascular, I was sweating more, right? Do you agree with me on that? That the steps really helps, the stairs really helps to get our cardiovascular. So that's what I want to talk about is cardiovascular health, is that we have to remember how important it is to get our cardiovascular health. Okay, so the American Heart Association recommends that we get 150 minutes of vigorous cardiovascular exercise every day. Now, depending on your age, what does that mean? How many beats per minute that is? You can Google that, put in your age, and you can see what that is. In fact, if you've ever been to a gym, it'll give you a range like from 99 to 110 or 120, you're in a fat burning zone. And above 120, you're in a cardiovascular zone. That was a thing that I really kind of forgot about, right? I went to school, I learned all these things, but I forgot about, oh, I actually need to be like sweating. I need to be in that cardiovascular zone. I was in that fat burning zone thinking everything's great, but I forgot about my cardiovascular health. Well, I'll tell you a story why it's so important. I have a lot of heart disease and strokes in my family on both sides, my maternal and paternal side. But I went to the eye doctor about a year ago, a little over a year and a half ago. And he said, it looks like you need to improve your cardiovascular health. We see a little bit of signs that your body needs more cardiovascular, because he was actually looking at the vasculature. He was looking in my eyes, and he could see that, yeah, I did need some cardiovascular health. So since then, I have been committing to do more of that. And how I have been tracking that is having my Fitbit. Maybe you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. I used to have a nice small one, but it kind of broke, so I went for this bigger one. I'll give my review on this at a later time. But what's neat about this is previously I could look and see what, I don't know if you could see. So this is kind of my heart rate, and that period right there where it looks high is where I was exercising this morning. Okay, so I was exercising this morning, and according to my watch, which really hasn't been tracking the best, not as good as that smaller one. I don't know if it's because it's so big, but hasn't been tracking the best. I had 26 minutes in the exercise zone with 8 minutes cardiovascular and 18 minutes in fat burning. Okay, so, and I was sweating. So I actually think I was tracking my own, and it's a little bit more than that, doing a workout. But this is really neat. So you can see that. But now, what they have with the Fitbit, at least, is they have what they call zone minutes. Okay, so zone minutes. So these are tracking your vigorous workout zone minutes, right? And I can see how many fat burning minutes I had and how many I had at 7:30 to 8 a.m. I had intense activity, right? And then it shows me some moderate that I had too today. And I had 29 minutes in the zone, right? So my goal, what are zone minutes? Active zone minutes track your time in a heart pumping activity. The American Heart Association recommends 150 minutes of moderate activity or 75 minutes of vigorous activity per week. Isn't that cool? So this now, the Fitbit tracks my zone minutes. So yes, walking is important, but I used to have clients who come to me and they say, Mary, I can't figure out why I'm not losing weight. I'm walking 2 miles a day, 3 miles a day, 4 miles a day, because what's happened is your body has acclimated your heart and everything, and you're not getting into that cardiovascular, because we know cardiovascular activity, aerobic activity, is what actually makes us lose weight, right? What helps us to lose weight. So with this tracker on the Fitbit now, we can see how many zone minutes we need. So it's recommended at least 150, but you, depending on where you're at, can set your own. Like if you're brand new to working out and you are really out of shape, maybe have a chronic condition, well, you might want to set yourself a step goal with so many zone minutes and then just work yourself up. Your heart is very amazing. Your organs, your body is so amazing. And when you work it, right? The heart is a muscle too. When you work it, it will help you in so many more ways. It can get stronger. It can get better. Okay, so what are the benefits of getting these zone minutes in or getting this cardiovascular health in? Well, number one thing right now is immune system. It's going to boost your immune system, okay? And over, when we do hear of people who have had, well, I'm not even going to go there, but let's boost our immune system. Okay, second, better sleep. How many of you struggle with sleep, right? You're just not getting to sleep. You're not staying to sleep. When you get good cardiovascular health in, you will get better sleep. And I have tracked my own because my Fitbit I will wear it most nights too to see how my sleep is. And over, I can see the nights where I have good cardiovascular health. In fact, uh, not to the point that I'm really sore at night, but that I just get more deep sleep. I just have a better, solid night sleep. I wake up rested. I go to sleep easier. Okay? And I know you will too. So, better sleep. Improve mental health. How many of us need improved mental health now? Cardiovascular aerobic activity can improve your mood. In fact, I think there's research that just 10 minutes of cardiovascular activity per day is like a natural antidepressant, right? I know there's research. I should have pulled that out for you. But it's like it fights depression better than the leading antidepressant. I know I read that multiple times through the years. So your mental health, weight loss. Anyone want to lose weight? It's going to help you lose weight. The Mayo Clinic, it naturally boosts your energy. It decreases the number one thing, whether it's the Mayo Clinic or any American Heart Association, is going to decrease your risk of strokes and heart attacks. 1.5 million people here in the U.S. having strokes and heart attacks is one of the leading causes of death. And so how can we fight against that? Cardiovascular health. And the Mayo Clinic said things like it helps arthritis. It helps to decrease the painful arthritis because it's lubricating the joints. People will have less medication when they have aerobic activity. That means we're getting the blood pumping. We're pushing all the lymphatic. I'll add my own here. Well, Mayo Clinic also said appetite control, right? So it helps control our appetite. So, and I think the reason how it does that, if I could get a little sciencey, is because cardiovascular health is going to improve your dopamine. We talked about that in previous videos, dopamine being like your happy hormone, basically. So if that's going to improve your dopamine, then you're not going to seek it out from junk foods and sugar and things like that as much, right? And then I'll add my other 2 cents here too, is lymphatic, which is our waste system, right? The lymph nodes all through the body. In our waste system, when you have any type of movement, but this movement where you're pushing the blood too, is that you're going to have good lymphatic drainage, right? And more lymphatic drainage means less inflammation. Less inflammation means less pain. And you know what? I'm going to even add in there maybe less things like allergies. I'm just going to say that's my theory. You test it out. You let me know. All right. So now you know, right? You know steps versus stairs, right? So having those steps, getting your steps in, of course, that's important. But we want to make sure that we're pushing our heart to get our heart healthier. And if you live on a single flat house, I know I had this, especially when I had some challenges with miscarriages and I was sedentary, like laying flat a lot. And then I remember this really clearly, that I went to climb these stairs and I was like so out of breath. I was like, oh my gosh, even though I wasn't really like super overweight then, my heart was out of shape. My heart was out of shape. And me and my exercise videos, we got to be best friends and things really changed for my health after that. So cardiovascular health, so important to you, so important to me, so important to our kids' futures, right? We want to be the best we can be. If you're a parent like me who had kids maybe a little later in life, maybe you have grandkids already, whatever it is, we want to be the best we can be for them, for ourselves, for our future. And I believe that this type of cardiovascular health and tracking it, right? Tracking it with a Fitbit or something like that could be very beneficial for you. So you let me know your next step. Put in the comments what your plan is. If you don't have a plan yet, tell me what kind of cardiovascular health you have. Tell me some good results you've had when you've exercised, maybe in the past or in the present. I want to know. I want to hear from you what you're doing. You can keep me motivated. Hopefully I'll help you keep you motivated, and I'll talk to you soon. All right? Bye-bye.